Sup everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about something that's quite a bit different from what we've been on trail with. No meta, no non-meta, no walrus preferences, no any of that, but it's just flat out news. I actually didn't know this because a lot of these channels I don't follow, but somebody has been messaging me that a lot of the leak channels, or I guess just channels, news channels, stuff like a lot of channels are getting hit right now, whether they are dedicated leak channels or not for Genshin Impact. One of the most popular ones that you guys may have heard of is Undiscovery CH, and apparently the channel has been terminated. It had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I believe that channel, from what the person who told me this, is that it focuses mostly on news, and some of it is like clickbait to like showing like weird photoshopped or edited stuff of characters in game or unreleased characters and trying to get clicks that way. Channel's been terminated along with many other channels, and it just seems like EroticWalruss this time is doing a great cleansing. They're finally putting the hammer down. Now, I do have information as to what likely caused this accelerated rate of termination, and it seems like it's indiscriminate. I have had one of my videos strike in the past simply for having the title say something like leak for a certain patch that was not released yet. Even though I showed no leaks, I just talked about the fact that leaks were running rampant. So likely I'm going to be very careful with this video's title. But talking on the subject of these channels getting terminated, it actually paints a very interesting pictures for us going forward. First and foremost is, if you guys think EroticWalruss is out to completely eradicate leaks, you are mistaken at this point. They're not. As long as people still have access to, let's say, the beta footage, or EroticWalruss still ends up having their data leaked somehow during a board meeting or something like that. I don't know how they do it. They manage somehow, but whoever gets their hands on it can spread this leak in many ways. It's just that YouTube is the most nonchalant, easy, and just press upload way to do it. And YouTube has an algorithm that pushes this stuff to people. And of course, if the leak is legitimate, what ends up happening is people will likely watch to the end of the leaks because that's what people were looking for, right? And then the algorithm will serve that video to a bunch of different people because they see that people who watch this video or people who clicked on this video have watched the entirety of the video, as well as people who had this thumbnail pop up clicked on the video. It's that simple. So these leakers are leveraging the algorithm, short compact video with no like intro, no outro. They just come in, they show it, they're gone, and these videos get just pushed like crazy by the algorithm. And EroticWalruss is basically trying to put an end to that. They're basically limiting the exposure of the leaks as opposed to trying to eradicate it altogether. EroticWalruss is clever enough to know that leaks can never be completely snuffed out. Much like, let's say, what Disney is doing, right? Disney can never stop people from actually watching their films before they're up in theaters. But what Disney does is they go after the people who try to profit off of their products. So websites like YouTube, even like major pirating websites, it's very difficult to find a Disney film before the film is actually, like, even afterwards, it's pretty damn tough nowadays, right? So EroticWalruss is likely going down the same path. Now, for people who are like, oh no, but I need to know what characters comes next, what they do, their kids, there are plenty of other sources out there. I'm not going to name them, but trust me, right? If you want to know leaks, you can know leaks. It's just, it's going to require more initiative from your side as opposed to just going on YouTube, going on these websites like Twitter. I'm sure Twitter still has a ton of leakers constantly just bombarding you with that information. I'm very careful around Twitter. YouTube, I pretty much have to ban certain channels every week or two that they pop up. They just continuously pop up. Anyone can just make a channel. Really, like if you want some side cash, I hate to do this to EroticWalruss, but if you want some side cash and you're totally prepared to lose the account, I don't know how profitable it is now, but you can likely make a YouTube account, run leaks on it, and probably make a couple bucks here and there, like 100-200 bucks every month or so. I don't know, but it's very easy. You'll get hundreds of thousands of views, but you have to be one of the first ones, obviously. So if you have a source, knock yourself out. Now, for people who aren't new to my channel and have actually heard me talk about leaks in the past and my kind of tinfoil hat theory about leaks and EroticWalruss's stance on them, I do believe that EroticWalruss does rely to a degree on leaks to get certain bits of information out to the community to keep people engaged and excited, or just keep people hovering around, if that makes sense, right? For people who feel like, oh, I mean, I'm done with this patch. Maybe I should take a break for the next week or month or whatever until something exciting comes around. Getting that bit of information to these individuals so they can stay motivated even during slow patches is an incredibly important thing for Hoyoverse to leverage, right? What people can see and what people cannot see are both weaponized, in my opinion, by Hoyoverse in this case. In fact, I would argue that in most people's case, when Hoyoverse actively says that they are against leaks, it actually sends a stronger message to people with burning curiosities to be like, well then, if Hoyoverse is against it, kind of makes me a little curious as to what it is, and they themselves would then actively seek out leaks, even though maybe prior to this they never really even cared. But just because Hoyoverse said, they're trying to ban it, they're going after people, they're throwing out lawsuits, or like they're shadow banning people, whatever the hell they're doing, once this news gets out, and of course it will, because a channel with a couple 100,000 subscribers vanishing just like that without anything is gonna have people rising up. So now that people are rising up, they will then likely go to the source of these leaks. They'll maybe even search it out for themselves. How many people are going to watch this video and now be like, what could have happened that caused Hoyoverse to have this kind of response to these types of channels, when before they had the power to do so but chose not to do so, right? Did Hoyoverse used to think they could have a peace treaty with these leakers and channels, be like, oh, don't do it, if you do it we're gonna go after you, and they realized it didn't work and now they're just gonna put the hammer down? Was Hoyoverse ever so graceful and so generous to that degree, or did something happen? And I think what triggered this huge cleansing was likely what happened with the Fontaine thing, right? Like, people say that the Fontaine thing completely got out of hand and that a lot of information was exposed to the public. That may have been the trigger, and Hoyoverse be like, okay, so these people are getting access to things that we don't even want them to get access to. I think a lot of leaks prior to that, or the majority of leaks prior to that, were Hoyoverse actively leaking stuff themselves. I've said this many times in the past. This is not the first video I am sharing this with you guys. Is that prior to this, Hoyoverse had more control and reign on it, but it seems like there's somebody from inside Hoyoverse. They have a mole. They have someone in there. I'm pretty sure this one. They have someone from Hoyoverse that's selling information outwards. And this is crazy because whoever that person is, in my opinion, if Hoyoverse actually wants to find out, and they definitely do want to find out, it's just a matter of time before they get snuffed out. It's just a matter of time, because Hoyoverse has not really been serious when it comes to actually hunting down leakers, right? And for obvious reasons, I said before, because these leakers, in my opinion, likely work in Hoyoverse's benefits. But what this person did, this mole, this Among Us, this mysterious individual, has turned the tables on Hoyoverse, and now all these other channels are suffering because of it. Hoyoverse cannot risk that a future leakage of this scale to come out, right? This really damages Hoyoverse, because they cannot use the element of surprise. They cannot use the pacing they've had in the past to kind of drip feed leaks to the community, so that leaks reach us when Hoyoverse wants it to reach us. And don't sit there and tell me Hoyoverse didn't have the power to take down these channels prior. Look how fast and easy it was, and how silent it was. That's the scariest part. These channels just up and disappeared, like vanished. To think that nobody is really talking about it. And to me, it seems like a lot of the people inside the program, the Genshin Creators Program, is scared. This is like, I mean, as somebody like myself who has lived in China for the majority of my life, I know how a lot of these companies operate. And it truly baffles me to see how a lot of these creators, apart from the, probably the news channels who likely covers this stuff, a lot of people want to just pretend like nothing happened. Oh, what great cleansing. We don't know anything about that. Just keep my head down and just let me keep focusing on my stuff so I don't get hit. To be frank with most people, I don't think most of the Genshin channels are even on Hoyoverse's target. If you don't actively spread leaks consistently and make it a part of your content structure, Hoyoverse has no gripes with you. We literally don't exist to Hoyoverse right now. Like, all this weird stuff I've said, all the stuff I've said in the past, Hoyoverse doesn't care. they can see it, they won't care. Of course, they don't see it because I'm not big enough, right? So it's great sometimes the size of your channel also can mask your presence and just kind of get right under the nose of HoYoverse. So people, relax. And you know, I really hope other content creators can start talking about this. This is interesting stuff. I know it's not Genshin related, but I hope this video has kind of piqued your interest in how HoYoverse, you know, is taking care of business. Swift hammers of justice are raining down upon us. Who knows? Maybe I might get hit. Yeah, maybe HoYoverse will strike me down for my bad takes. For people who are watching who thinks, Walrus, you deserve to get terminated because your takes are just so atrocious. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe Dawei was like, that is the 4th Dawei joke he's made since the month has started. I'll get rid of this man right now, and then I'm gone. Maybe this is my last video. Till next time, urge y'all to stay safe. Peace. Oh yeah, really, comment down below what you guys think. This is some really interesting stuff. It's like HoYoverse is sending out like assassinations out here. Oh my god.